Maastricht is over, and the redefinition of democracy in Europe and its political expression is in the balance. Mr. Major is going into Europe afraid of giving up control of his nation. As a member of one of the two countries of Western and Eastern Europe still under foreign domination against the will of the majority of the people as expressed in referendum, I can relate to those fears. Fears of seeing one's own country ruled by an uncaring bureaucracy far away from the needs and homes of the people. Fears that decisions are taken for the benefit of others and one is left powerless. Fear of the justice of economic policies which support the interests of multinationals as opposed to those of ordinary people. I'm actually talking about Scotland and Wales, ironically still part of this bastion of democracy and freedom of speech, this so-called United Kingdom, which seeks to enlighten the world and Europe on the finer points of democracy. A country governed by minority rule, albeit the largest minority, instead of the proportional representation as practiced by most of the EEC. A system upheld by the largest opposition party, for if it ever backs PR, the Labour Party will never again be in total governmental control. And if it ever gives freedom to Scotland and Wales with their large Labour majorities, Labour will also never gain real power. And it is presumably more concerned with achieving power than electoral justice. But here the crux of the matter is aptly illuminated. The wishes of the politicians in Westminster override and overrule the clear wishes of the people and peacefully expressed in the ballot box. Scotland and Wales want out, but we have no opt-out clause. The politicians insist that they know better. This is the total opposite to confederacy or working together, listening to all parties and respecting each other's needs and opinions. It is instead a relationship typified by a domineering attitude and the arrogance of the refusal to listen. Perhaps the ultimate stupidity is that if we had our freedom, these islands would hold 5 seats in Europe, not just 2, and would therefore have considerably more ability to safeguard and look after our interests. And PR would bring to those 5 countries the sense and consensus of ideas instead of the current blinkered vision of a one-party line. And if we work together as 5 separate nations in freedom and with respect for our differing needs and cultures, developing a fellowship of individual states, then who knows, we can bring to Europe a working model of how confederacy can work. And so to all of those who've been deciding our futures and standing up for our rights, which were denied in the first place, perhaps they would do well to remember that democracy, like charity, begins at home.